Hey guys, so today's vlog is really something Abby and I are both passionate about, and that is travel. We love travel. In fact, when I graduate law school, our plan is to just pick somewhere either across the US or across the world, and we're going to move there, but traveling all throughout our lives and making that a big priority with our disposable income. We both love to travel. We've both been fortunate and privileged to get to travel a lot in our lives already. And so this vlog is going to be helping you book a trip. It's going to be fast, affordable, and I'm going to walk you through it step by step. So I'm going to take you to Paris for a month, and I just wanted to make this video, one, because Abby and I are passionate about it, and two, I know a lot of people in college. My sister is one that are about to go on a study abroad, and so I wanted to make it for them and people like them. But whoever you are out there, I hope you can get something useful out of this. And I will put some links, the links that I use in the video, and some other links that of people I recommend, travel vloggers to look up for advice. That I will put that in the comments. So just check that out. Nomadic Matt will be one of my favorites that I will recommend in the comments. And right now, he wrote a book called How to Travel the World on $50 a Day. It's an awesome book. I recommend checking it out if you have the time. But I read it, I love it, and he just gives awesome practical tips, everyday living when living and traveling abroad in another country. So I hope y'all check that out. But enough talking. Here is my step-by-step walkthrough of booking a trip to Paris in under 12 minutes and staying there for a month. I hope y'all enjoy. Hey everybody, so right now I'm going to quickly walk us through step by step on how to book a trip. We're going to go quick and cheap. All right, so first let's go airline. My favorite two budget carriers to get from the US to Europe are going to be WOW Airlines and Norwegian Air. Um, so we'll go to WOW Airlines. All right. So as you will quickly notice, they have, of course, limited airports around the world. And so you'll kind of want to pick the one closest to you or cheapest based on what you most meets your needs. BWI is not in central Washington, and it's probably going to be a more expensive airport to fly into. So I'm going to do Boston, and I'm feeling Paris. Let's go to Paris. So uh, it's a good idea to book a few or to several months in advance. That's when you're going to get the best deals. And then Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays are typically the best days airfare wise. And so I'm feeling let's try and stay a month. We're going to go Monday to Monday. Okay, so we've got that. We're going to search flights. And I have a calculator beside me, and I will be adding this up. You're welcome to as well as we go along, just so I can demonstrate that it is possible to travel for a lengthy amount of time on a budget. Okay, so $299 and then $249. Okay, those are $249 I feel better about, but I mean, this is $548. To put this in perspective, it typically United or American, the cheapest I've ever seen their flights to Paris, their one-way flights to Paris are about 750 to 800 a person. And so we're saving at least $200 right now. And if you wanted to go with this is all you, I mean, you could fly this price and I believe bring a 12-pound carry-on with you for free. And that would be, that you'd be good to go. For those of you that don't think you could pack for a month in 12 pounds and a small kind of dimensions bag, there are some other options, and that's what I'm going to show y'all right now. Okay, so uh, carry on, like I said, you could get the 11 pound, and then these are the dimensions. So it's about a foot, or no, sorry, 2 feet, and then I guess it's going to be about a foot, and this is a little under 2 feet. And so not a huge bag, sadly. Um, and so most people are going to want to either do the 26-pound bag, but it still has to be those dimensions. So while I would say get yourself a good travel backpack or something like that, I'm just going to click these because you have to. But then I would almost say it's worth paying the one bag. This is going to be 44 pounds, so you could bring yourself a good backpack, put everything and more you need in it for your month there. And don't pack too many sets of clothes because you're gonna plan on doing laundry and stuff there. So to save money on having to pay for extra bags and all that craziness. So we'll continue. Okay, and so this is actually all we need. The problem with budget airlines, they are going to try and hit you coming and going. You need cancellation protection, you need this, you need that. Most people don't need all those things. You really just need bags and a ticket. So 682, let's just say we're good to go. All right, so we move on, and of course, I live in Knoxville, so I have to get myself to Boston first. And so we're going to say Knoxville to Boston flights in Google Flights, and we're going to trust that you can help us find something moderately priced. All right, so we got to change the dates to our dates. All right, so the 11th and then May. Okay, so that's a pretty good deal. Okay, so April 11th, May 9th, those are going to be, of course. Okay, and I was hoping something like this would come up. If we can get ourselves to, if you have a friend or a connection in Atlanta, which I do, and I'm sure a lot of people who live in this area do, 167 can get us to Boston from Atlanta, and so we can do something like that. There are always these cheaper options, and so I'm going to add up that 167, now putting us at 849 if you're following along, and we have booked our flights. So next, let's hit up Airbnb because we, of course, need a place to stay. All right, so let's go with Paris since that's where we're going. And then that searches, we search those dates. Okay. And then, of course, you're going to be getting there probably the next day. And then you got to stay the night of the 8th probably. And then let me zoom out so I can show you best. This is going to be Central Paris within this kind of orange circular line. And these are called the arrondissements. Sorry if I butchered that. But they are the districts. And then, as you can see, where the Louvre Museum, where the Mona Lisa and other famous paintings and artwork are, one of the most famous museums in the world, highly recommend visiting. And then the Eiffel Tower, and then I believe the Arc de Triomphe is either here or somewhere in here. And so you'll want to stay in this area. You can kind of browse, find a good looking one, and you can go as expensive as you want. Since you're staying a month, I would say try and go cheap. This one is for girls. It's like almost a privately owned hostel, like that someone is having their own house. But for a month, you could stay there for 637, and I'm sure y'all know this, but or for your with your own rent in comparison. But my rent is about 800 a month, and so I would be staying in Paris cheaper than I would be living in my own apartment. And because it is in French, you'll want to translate it. You might even want to call them because the translators aren't always great here. There's a 30% monthly discount. That is a great thing to look for if you're going to be staying a lengthy amount of time. And then I would advise going through the pictures and reading the reviews so that you can kind of see what it is all really about. But so I'll add in this 637, and guys, I'm sure you could find something like this. This, I believe the owner is a woman, and so she only wants girls staying here, and I think she just wants it to kind of be a safe place for girls, and that's an awesome idea. There are probably plenty of other cheap options for guys, and you can find the reviews. So she has a bunch of reviews. Some might be in French. But this one, she speaks English and French, the person. It is kind of a hostel for girls, but it's a woman running it. And so you'll just want to look over the reviews and see if it checks out and meets your criteria. It looks good to me, and so I'm going to move on. That puts us at 1486 if you're still following along. And sadly, I don't have a website for food. There might be some out there if you just Google it or look around. But I would say the most you're going to want to spend a day on food is $50 a day. I think most people can even do about $35 a day, which is going to add another $1,050 onto our total. And so putting us around $25.86. And I say you don't want to spend too much on food. I would say try to cook at least one meal on your own. If wherever you are staying has a kitchen and a stove, because you can really save a lot of money that way. If you spent $50 a day on food, it will cost you $1,500 over a month, and you save $450 just by spending only $35 a day. And so that's probably going out for dinner and cooking your other two meals, or maybe going out for lunch and breakfast and then eating in for dinner or something like that. You have to prioritize and find what works best for you. I think you can do it, and I think getting to experience the markets that locals go to, that normal people that live in that country go to, I think that is going to be awesome. So our final thing as a bonus, let's work on transportation around Paris. And if you're in that central kind of area of Paris, number one, I would just say is walk. Walking is free. It's great exercise. It'll be getting warmer, starting to get warmer as spring gets close to ending and kind of gets close to summer that time of year. And the other one you're going to want to know is Paris by train, and it is how to do your subway and train stuff in Paris. It's a great website. The RER is going to be going outside of Paris on train, and the metro is going to be the Paris subway. So let's look into a week pass or longer if they have any options. So this is your week price, but since we are staying a month, this is actually going to be what I would suggest. 70 euros. That's going to be about $75 right now, and I expect it to be when our trip takes place in April. Or this is a hypothetical trip, but just to tack that on, so we're now at $2,611, and we have all our airfares taken care of, our stay is taken care of, our food is taken care of, and most of our travel around Paris is taken care of. The rest, what you do, the sights you see, whatever you want to do while you're there is up to you, of course. But to put this in perspective, this is $2,611. When I went on study abroad for a month in Oxford, England, it cost me about $5,000, and that did not include most meals or my additional travel. Of course, a lot of that was paying for pretty good room and board, or I guess room, and then to take 2 college classes. So study abroad, amazing experience. But if you don't want to spend that much money, or if you've done study abroad and you're just trying to travel a lot cheaper and get a really just an awesome experience, I would recommend doing this. This is how I will be traveling. Abby and I will be traveling from here on out, and you can just save so much more money this way. So I would highly recommend this. And the other perspective is that a week in Paris would typically run you about $1,000 to $1,200 per person. And the reason you can just it's almost only double to go 4 weeks as opposed to one is because you pay so much money on air flight, regardless of staying a day or a year, that it's worth it to try and stay longer to get your money's worth. That is my opinion. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you are looking for either a long-term travel or just a short-term travel, travel is awesome. I really enjoyed making this video. I have a feeling I will be making more like it in the future. Please let me know in the comments if you enjoyed it, what you'd like to see me do next or show you how to do. If you have any questions of things I talked about or things I did not talk about, just let me know. I'd be happy to answer them. And if you liked it, again, please give it a big thumbs up, and please subscribe to Chrabby Vlogs and share us and tell your friends. Thank y'all so much for watching. We will see y'all on Friday, and remember, always keep it crabby. Bye-bye.